Hey everybody, welcome to Landscape Rescue.
That does it. Get out of here, you drunk lowlife!
Now, one of my favorite places. I'm at the Lowe's Garden Center. Let's go see if we can find some really good deals. I am at Republic, Missouri. I have to remember what Lowe's I'm at sometimes because I come here so often I don't know where I'm at. Completely lost.
I'm completely lost! I've hit rock bottom.
Anyway, here we are. We're at Lowe's. I want to find some good deals. I want to see if I can get some beef.
Where's the beef?
Right, for my veterans garden. So my veteran across the street. If you're new here, I'm doing, I don't want to call it charity, but I'm doing some pro bono work for a disabled veteran neighbor of mine that lives across the street. I've already done a giant bed there. It's enormous. It's really changed how the front yard feels. It feels more lived in now. And I've even had people pull up and ask me if I bought that house. Oh, did you buy the house? Like a new homeowner's moving in and they're doing some improvements. I said, no, same guy. Owned it for decades, same dude. So I would like some more weight in that bed, some more just, I don't know, tangible things. I don't know really how to explain it, but there's something missing in there. So I need to go in there and just kind of beef it up a little bit, because just me looking forward into the future, there's going to be a lot of mulch there, which I need to fill. I'm just that guy. I don't really want to see it, because it means that even with pre-emergent, I'm still going to be getting some seeds. I don't really like sun hitting my mulch layer. So I need to fill it up a little bit. And I was thinking, well, maybe I can get a really good deal on perennials. We are expecting, in the Springfield metro area, we are expecting another heat wave. And I think a lot of people in the country are expecting some warmer weather this week. And so this weekend it's going to be mid-90s is what they're saying. Could be 98. I've heard some different things. So what I was thinking is, since we do so well with hardy hibiscus, maybe I can get some more Luna hardy hibiscus here. They're 50% off on the Lunas, which is, you know, what's gonna, you know, clearance wise. And I think that would be pretty. I walked back and forth here a couple times, just kind of thinking, do I want to spend the money just to beef it up? And that's what I'm doing, because the bones I feel like are kind of there. So that's the rub with my mission for today, is just find a little bit of beef that I can throw into that veteran's garden. And I think 3 Luna would probably, you know, give me a little bit of cohesion in there. So that's the thought process. Let's get in there. Let's take a look at the clearance rack, and we'll see what we can do. We're gonna jinx the whole thing and get a cart right out of the gate? Yeah, we are. Ooh, this is a good one. It rolls well. Nice. Now, as I'm walking, the clearance rack is right in front of me. I see some mums, I see some balloon flower, I see some echinacea, but I just wanted to stop by the dwarf mugo pines, which that would be nice. It would be nice to have, you know, because this isn't my garden, it's his garden. I am creating it for him. And it might be nice to maybe have some winter interest in there, but, you know, we just kind of got to mind our P's and Q's. Slow season for gardening channels it's coming up. It's kind of there already. I'm feeling some trends already with views that it's just not where it was. And so, and that could be content. That's probably my fault. I'm thinking, you know, $29 for a couple of those would take me into the $90 range with tax, and I'm just not prepared to do that. But a little bit of beef, I could probably swing that. Financially, I think that would be okay. I'm good on balloon flower. I've got some balloon flower at home that I've bought months ago that I'm just keeping alive in 1 gallon pots. Trust me, it's been a struggle, even in this cooler weather. So I'm probably going to need to plant those regardless if I have the perfect spot for them or not. I'm going to need to plant them with this heat wave coming. Because these pots dry out so fast. It's a potting medium that's almost 100% peat, I feel like. I mean, it is just peat moss rich. It's hard to keep, it shrivels up, right? So then when you water it again, if it doesn't fill the pot, then the water just kind of runs down the sides. And so I'm really having to spend a lot of time watering. Skybox Japanese hollies. I just saw these over here. So this is the Skybox Japanese holly, and I think this is the female. Let's do a little bit of research here. It might not tell me right out of the gate. I might have to incorporate some info in a slide. I do have my cell phone with me though, so I could look it up. But these are really cool. These Japanese hollies, kind of like a sky pencil, but I don't feel like they're as susceptible to the cold winter winds, those drying winds. Now you can kind of counteract that a little bit with wilt proof. If you're a wilt proof fan, you can spray these in the winter, and it's not cheap to do, but it's cheaper than buying another sky pencil. So something you're gonna have to do every year. But the Skybox is gonna get 5 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet wide. So very similar in growth habit in a nice holly. I used to sell the snot out of these things. So as far as vertical interest goes, these would be good, and it wouldn't take up a whole lot of room, about 1.5 feet in each direction. You can pop those in. That's kind of like those totem pole switchgrass that we saw a couple videos ago. You can just kind of pop them in, still get that vertical interest, and you're not compromising airflow, really. You just pop them in. So that's the Skybox. There's a male version. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I don't know. It's possible. There's a lot of plant facts floating around in this noggin with a bunch of other dumb stuff I should probably just let go of. But the memory warehouse is getting more full the older I get. I just think that's funny. Like, people are like, you know, my dad's getting older and he's forgetting stuff. I was like, no, he's had to get rid of stuff because he knows so much. There's only so much room in one's brain. You know, you're an 80-year-old man. You've got a lot of stored info in there. You gotta start kicking stuff out that's not important. It just is what it is. Maybe my birthday was one of those. I don't know. I'm just joking. He talked to me for my birthday. So I'm thinking, if we can see, we've got some powwow white up there, and that's a good perennial to beef up. Not a huge fan of white coneflower, but they hold on to the blooms really well, and I could deadhead it throughout the summer and then just let the seeds develop for the fall. I could do that next year. Because I try not to deadhead my echinacea just because it does such a good job of feeding the finches. So, but white coneflower need to be deadheaded. They need to be deadheaded. And it's real easy to put these in kind of some weird situations where they're getting too much water. I find that I do that. But I've got some drier spots in his flower bed that I might be able to just kind of punch these in. I'm just worried about me developing weed issues in there, even with the pre-emergence. Because a lot of that, there's Bermuda in there. I know I'm gonna fight Bermuda. Got some salvia, these pink Profusion salvia. I would kind of rather do that than the white coneflower. If I can get these for $5 a piece, that might be a thing that I can do. 15, So it's $30 a flat. I mean, I'm gonna drop $100 on salvia because I'll need all 3 flats of those. That bed is huge. That bed is huge. So, you know, we do that, and we do some purple coneflower, and we do some lunas. Now we're maybe in the $150 range. The bed needs it. One might ask, why do you need all of the salvia? Well, because it's salvia. I don't know why you're having to ask that question, but it's such a big bed, and getting some cohesive, because you've got to think, if you haven't seen this bed, it's a huge L basically. Looks like Florida, right? It's just this huge L. You're good. I won't call you out on the internet. Hey, internet, right there. I'm joking. Although that was funny, I might keep that just because it was hilarious. But if you remember that bed, it's just an L. And so having that many salvia, just reaching a little bit of cohesion as we kind of work our way around, that's not going to be a bad thing. Massive impact creates massive emotion, and you can achieve impact with a lot of the same plant. All right. Well, I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to figure this out. All right. So I've decided not to get the echinacea. I had to kind of just make some hard decisions. I really should, but I'm not going to. Dropping $90 on salvia is going to hurt enough. So that is what we've done. I got these 3 flats of salvia, worked a little bit of that magic, a little bit of that sprinkle. Got them for $5 a piece. So that's the rub with those. And then I'm gonna forgo picking up lunas, which I'm scared to not do that. That's another $30. So, because those come down to about $10 a piece at 50% off. So I am just going to stick with the salvia, and I'm gonna beef up his flower bed with those when I get an opportunity to go out there and do that. I've got a couple other videos that are gonna have to come that are gonna take priority over this planting video, but you guys will see it. It'll be a glow up video. I'll give you kind of an update on his front yard, and I'll plant these. All right. Guys, I really appreciate you sticking with me through this entire video. No, it's not overly entertaining. It is what it is, apparently. My name's Stuart Moore. This is Landscape Rescue. Thank you very much for letting me into your home talk about plants.